Hello, YouTube. All right, this episode, which is episode 3, is going to be about cleaning brass. We've saved it. We've, got our containers to store it in, but now we've got to clean it. There's several ways to clean it. We've got a few examples up on the table here. We have a vibratory tumbler, and you'll use a couple different types of media or some more. There's several different types. Does a good job. It's a little messy, but it works. Steel pins or wet tumbling works great too. Works fantastic. With the vibratory tumbler, you have an initial investment in the tumbler, which could be anywhere from, if you get a used one, $20 up to $100 and something, depending on the brand. This is a lower end quality one. It does work. I think I paid like 40 or 50 bucks for this. It may be more, it may be less now. But you do have to buy some type of media for it. So I've purchased this. This is the corn cob. It polishes. And you can use walnut. Walnut is a little expensive, but what I did is I bought this naturally fresh walnut-based litter for cats. I think I paid like $7 for this bag. And it's worked well. It's just ground up walnut. It does a real good job. I've even mixed this, like a 50-50 combo of corn cob and walnut. Works real good. Steel pins. This is probably your highest associated cost right here. Is you're going to have to buy a tumbler, which this is the cheapest one you can get, is the Harbor Freight one. I think I paid like 30 or 40 bucks for this tumbler, maybe less. And it comes with 2 drums. And then I purchased 5 pounds worth of pins, I think for about 20 or 25 bucks. So I think my whole investment in this operation here was around 60 bucks or below. But then you had to remove the pins, same as this. So there's some more costs associated with that. I purchased a little magnet, to pick up the pins for this. And this little thing from Goodwill, I think I paid $1 or something. Well, there it is, $1.51 for this. And of course you need a bucket. So I had a 5-gallon bucket. And then you can use this for the corn cob also. But what I did before I had that, I was cleaning with this thing. I just got an old dollar tub that we bought for Halloween. I just drilled some holes in the bottom, and I would shake this over a 5-gallon bucket, and that would remove all my media. Of course, they have media tumblers, but I was not going to invest in that. Now, everything we've talked about so far on the table, there's a cost associated with that. And our number one reason for getting into loading was cost, to save money. So we're not really saving money here. We're spending money. So before I bought this, especially this one, but before I had this, I had a coffee can. And what I did with the coffee can is any kind of spent brass I got, and we're doing this, we don't even have any equipment yet. So I would get my brass, my range pickup or whatever I shot, and I would, I was picking up brass probably about this much, and I'd take hot water. I'd fill it about halfway up with hot water, and then I'd take a pinch or 2 of salt, drop that salt in there, put some Dawn dishwashing detergent, about a tablespoon, and then I'd put about, I guess it was probably about 2 or 3 teaspoons of vinegar, and I would take this outside and I'd put the lid on it, and I would just hold it real tight and I would shake it. Now I didn't use this container. I think I had another one that had a little bit better seal on it. But I would shake it real good. Of course, some would come out. I would just shake it, and then I would sit it, walk back inside, and about 20 or 30 minutes later, I'd have to go outside for something else. I'd go out, pick it up, and shake it. And just shake it. And then from there, then I would take it back in, after it's set for maybe an hour or 2. I have forgotten and left it sitting overnight one time. But I would take it inside, then I would rinse it, and then I would lay it out and I would let it dry. And that was my initial cleaning. So that got all the powder residue and all that. They still didn't look good, but they were clean. and I cleaned them for nothing. I didn't have any investment whatsoever. And then later, probably about the same time, I had this. And the reason why I started doing it this way was I didn't like the fact that I was putting dirty brass in here, and I was basically adding that powder and all that debris mixed in with this media, and it was just ruining it. I just didn't like that idea, and I didn't want to spend another 15 to 20 bucks on another thing of this, or even $7 on the walnut. So I started basically a pre-wash. And that's what you can do. You can do a pre-wash on all that brass you're collecting, let it dry, and then you'll go into the sorting process. And you've still not invested $1 in any of this, because most people are going to have that vinegar at home. I used white vinegar. They're going to have some type of dishwashing detergent. I used Dawn. And they're going to have some salt, just regular table salt. And you're going to have that container from where you collected. So by going this method, we've not invested anything yet, and we're building our brass stock up. Now later on, you can invest in that, and that will go into the more accurate and fun part, and more power and all that. Just mostly the fun part here. Getting that real shiny, clean brass. There's nothing better than pulling out once fired brass and saying, "Man, look how good that looks." So, inexpensive, a little bit more expensive, but you can pay a whole lot more when you get up in here. But for now, we're sticking with that cost, saving money. That pre-wash is great. And this combination here is where I started. And then I moved to this because it kind of combines the two. But you're still going to have that separation of that media just like you would here. Here we're just rinsing out. And you could actually load directly from this once they dry. But they just won't be pretty. All right, we're going to conclude this episode. Save your brass was the first one. Your containers, and now we're cleaning that brass. I'll see you on the next episode.